Okay, so we're holding today the Zayin Medalef. The Zayin Rabbi, sorry. We finished the sugi yesterday. Why we have to do the Chametz. Now we're going to figure out which bracha do we make on the Chametz. So we're going to start today the Zayin Pesachim, the Zayin Medalef all the way at the bottom. The Gemara says like this. Amar of Yehuda, Habedik Tzar Shivato. It's 3 lines at the bottom. It's by 2 dots. Amar of Yehuda said, Habedik Tzar Shivato. Someone who checks Chametz has to be. Someone who checks chametz has to make a bracha on chametz on the mitzvah. Like every mitzvah that about my mevarich, which mitzvah does he make? A papi amar is machlekes. A papi amishman the Rava. A papi says in the name of Rava he makes levayir chametz. Make a sheket shanu b'mitzvah tzivanu levayir chametz to get rid of the chametz. If Papa amar, Papa says no. Mishman the Rava al bir chametz. He makes a bracha al bir. So we have machlekes. Do we make a bracha on levai, or do we say al bir? Why would they argue about such a thing? So Raj makes explain. Says the Gemara, we all know that we make a bracha before we make the mitzvah. So we agree. Everyone agrees that the mitzvah, the bracha you make on mitzvah has to be a lashon that's mashma that you're going to do the mitzvah, not that you did the mitzvah already. The Gemara says, everyone agrees Levayed is a lashon, is a terminology that is God shows in the future. Levayed, la, alarm, the 4 words, la means you're gonna do it. Everyone agrees that it's kosher if you say Levayed because it's mashma that it's going to do in the future. When is the argument of which bracha do we make al bir or Levayed? Is the argument if you said al bir? If you say al bir chametz, the question is a yetz or not. Marsa, the papi holds. Al bir means happened already. I'm making a bracha on the concept of being on the burning of the chametz. Now, on the burning of the chametz doesn't show that I didn't do it yet. It shows that I did it already. I'm making a bracha on the concept that happened already. My sabbath, the Papa says no. La ba mashma. Al bir doesn't have to mean lashon ava. It doesn't have to mean that it happened already. Al bir also mean I'm making a bracha on the concept of bir chametz, which I'm going to do right now. And then for the Papa, it's kosher. We're going to go through now different reasonings. Says the Gemara, a question on a papi. The papi said that you make a bracha that al bir doesn't count because it's a mashma that it happened already. Says the Gemara, we know the Rabbi bris milah. What bracha to make for bris milah? We make baruch atah Hashem lekenu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvah v'tzivanu al hamilah. So we see clear by bris milah that we do make a bracha al hamilah. So why when it comes to because chametz, something that Papi say because chametz we have to say al, we have to say levai. We can't say al. So why bris milah do we say al hamilah? So that's the Gemara because by bris milah is different. Why is it different? Because Hasam over there, how should we say? What should we say? We should say that the mitzvah is lamol to do a bris milah. Leisagya the lap ihumol. Who does a bris milah? Usually, even in those days, and especially nowadays, the person who does a bris milah is male. The male is only a shliach to do bris milah. The male isn't commanded to do bris milah. So how can the male make a bracha? Asher kitchanu, the person the Eibishter who commanded us to do bris milah. He doesn't have to do bris milah for this child. So we're stuck. So what does he make the bracha? He says ala milah. It doesn't mean that every time we say ala milah means that that it's a good time to use. Says the Gemara, Avia bein Mike and what if you have the case that the father does a bris milah for a son, even though usually a male does a bris milah for a son, but if a father does a bris milah for a son, so he is commanded to check his to give his son a bris. So what bracha would he make? So the Gemara, if a father would make a bris milah for his son, he would say lamu. Instead of saying Asher Geshanim says al hamila, which shows in the concept of milah, he would say the Eibishter commanded me or us to circumcise our sons because it's his mitzvah. So we're coming a proof from milah because milah is different. The reason why the male says al hamila because we don't have any other choice for him to say. But which each person is each person himself is commanded to Rabbi gave a mitzvah to check the chametz or to burn the chametz. So therefore he can't say al habir because al habir shows on the past, and he has to say something that shows in the future. Meisvei, we're going to ask a question from Shchita. The bracha in Shchita is we make baruch atah Hashem lekenu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvah v'tzivanu al hashchita. So we see again mashchita that the sheikhet, the bracha he makes is al hashchita. He makes a bracha on the concept of shchita. He doesn't make a bracha v'tzivanu lishchet. He says al hashchita. So why is shchita any different than dikas chametz? Says the Gemara, Hasanami, over there by shchita we have the same problem. Heichi nema. How should the sheikhet say it? Lishchet. The sheikhet should say that the sheikhet should say v'tzivanu lishchet. Leisage de lavi shachat is the sheikhet. It's the mitzvah. It's the sheikhet's job to shech. It's a sheikhet's tzibur to shech. If a person wants a hema, he has to shech by himself. If someone's shechting for someone, so it's not his job to shech. It's not a mitzvah for him to shech. Okay, there's a different explanation of what exactly is over here. But some people say the question of the Gemara is, even if a person is shechting his own animal, so he does have a mitzvah to shech, but it's not a mitzvah, he can't do it because the mitzvah of shchita is there's no mitzvah to physically shecht the animal. Shchita is, the Torah says, if introduction to eat, you have to shecht. So if you want to eat, you have a chiyuv to shecht, but it's introduction to eating. So therefore, no, you can make a bracha ala shchita, but you can't make a bracha lishchit, because the actual action of shechting isn't a action which has a specific shivas, a specific importance b'fnei atzmi. It's only akdama to to eat. So therefore, I knew the Gemara was saying we can't make a bracha lishchet because there's no mitzvah to shech. There's a mitzvah if you want to eat to shech. Anyway, so we're busy. Yeah, so we're still asking questions of different cases. We're asking questions of different cases that we see you make a bracha al. Same thing, Mother Pesach Kachim, Michael Mem. We know there's a mitzvah to bring Korban Pesach, mitzvah to make a to bring Korbanos. The Lashon it says by Korbanos it said V'samach Chaziyada Al Reisha Elah V'shachel Sabakar B'fnei Hashem B'shchita. Unlike any other animals, by Korbanos, especially by Korban Pesach, unlike any other animals we were doing to eat, there's a mitzvah to shecht. Torah especially mentioned shachar sabaka. There's mitzvah to shech. So meaning the action of shechting has a specific importance by itself. And what do we see by shchita? And what bracha do we make by shchita? Like according to our reasoning, we said before that the only reason why by shchita we make a bracha ala shchita and not lishchet is because there's no either he's not commanded to shech, or even if he is commanded to shech because he's shechting his own animal, but it doesn't have an importance by itself. What about in the case that it doesn't have importance by itself? Because Torah specifically said to shech the animal of kachim. What bracha would he make? Says the Gemara, yeah, the Gemara says the kain or whoever shechting a carbon mesa mikdash, he doesn't make a bracha al shchita because al shchita means the past present, the past tense. He makes a bracha lishchet, which means that he's going to shech. Yeah, we know that shchita ksheida bazar. A kain doesn't. A carbon doesn't have to be shechted by, doesn't have. But we're going to bring another question from Lulav. So Lulav, someone who makes lulav, someone who's egget, someone who's tying his lulav in order to be dal minimum sukkahs. What bracha does he make? Okay, this is a shita that's brought down in Gemara. It's from Masechta also. We don't make a bracha shechianu when we tie the lulav, but there's opinions that say make a bracha when you tie the lulav. You make a bracha shechianu. Fine. Abu Kshanotli, let's say, but when he takes the lulav to shake the lulav, Amy says ashekichanu, and we say v'tzivanu al mitilas lulav. That's the bracha we make when we shake the lulav. So before you shake, when you make the bracha, you make the bracha before you shake it. If you make the bracha before you shake it, what bracha should you make? You shouldn't say al netilas lulav, because according to the Papi, when we say al, it's going with the past. So he should say ashekichanu, says it's on lintel lulav or litel lulav, which is the cheder contradiction. We see clearly that the Brisa says that we don't say lintel lulav, we say al netilas lulav. So just like by lulav we say al netilas lulav, bir chametz we should say al bir chametz. Says the Gemara, shani hasam lulav is different. Why? The being of the agrin of a lulav. We think, at least according to this opinion, when we shake lulav, you don't actually have to shake the lulav. Your yaitze lulav, as soon as you pick up a lulav, you're yaitze already. And for some reason, we make the bracha after we pick it up. So that's we're making a bracha on a mitzvah that we already did. Because as soon as you pick up the lulav, your yaitz already. You don't have to shake it. As soon as you pick it up, your yaitz already. And when you make the bracha after you picked it up, after you pick up the lulav, your yaitz already. So you can't make a bracha you can't make a bracha linta lulav because you took the lulav already. You already yaitz the mitzvah. So therefore, by lulav, you're forced to make a bracha al netilas lulav. I'm saying in the chametz when you didn't check for the chametz yet. There's no problem in making a bracha levar chametz. So as the if you're already yaitza as soon as you pick up a lulav, why does the Brisa say if you took a lulav, let's say it's bay? If I took a lulav to be yaitza, mitzvah lulav. As soon as you take lulav, you're yaitza already. The lashon of the Brisa should be not lay v'yatza bay. Not let's say. So let's say means to be yaitza. We just said now that as soon as you take lulav, you're yaitza already. But the lashon of the Brisa said let's say it's bay. You pick up a lulav in order to be yaitza, which was mashi you weren't yatza yet. Yatza by me, but the Mishnah should say that the Brisa should say you're already yatza. So the Gemara answers, yeah, it's true. The Brisa should have said you're already yatza. But since in the end of the Brisa, since the second half of the Brisa, which is speaking about Leishiv Basukah, we're speaking about that he wasn't yatza sukkah yet. So too in the beginning of the Brisa we said he took a lot to be yatza, even though he was already yatza. What's what we're talking about? The Tani say because we learned in the end of the Mishnah, at the end of the Brisa. Someone who makes a sukkah for himself on Erev Sukkot, he makes a bracha. Baruch atah Hashem, shechiyar v'kimanu v'gyal nizman hazeh. He makes a bracha building the sukkah. When Yom Tov comes in, as soon as Yom Tov comes in and he goes into the sukkah the first time, nichnas leishiv bay, when he goes into the sukkah to makayim the mitzvah of leishiv, the mitzvah sitting in the sukkah. And he says Baruch atah Hashem, elken v'lechem shegichanu mitzvahs v'tzivanu leishiv sukkah. So just like by sukkah, the Gemara speaks when it gets that you are yaitza by lulav by sukkah, you only yaitza when you actually sit down. If you walk into a sukkah, you're coming into sukkah to be yaitza, the mitzvah of eating the sukkah. So therefore, you want yaitza. In the first case, the Mishnah, the case of lulav, as soon as you pick it up, you're already yaitza. So you can't say I made a mitzvah, I took the lulav in order to be yaitza. Because the second you take the lulav, you're yaitza already. So the reason we say yaitza in the beginning of in the first case of lulav is because since in the second case we're talking about a case that you are yaitza. Yeah? So we use the same terminology in the first case. But it doesn't mean that you're not yaitza as soon as you pick up lulav. As soon as you pick up lulav, you're yaitza, and therefore you can't make a bracha linta lulav because you already yaitza already. The halacha, do we say levar chametz? Do we say al bir chametz? The halacha is make a bracha al bir chametz, and that's the halacha. That's what we pass in Shulchan Aruch. That's what we do nowadays. Make al bir chametz, and maskal the is that al bir chametz also means the future. For the future doesn't only mean in the past, and therefore that's what we do nowadays. Make a bracha al bir chametz. Okay, now the Gemara goes into a whole different discussion. The whole argument between Rav Papi and Rav Papa was, does al also mean the past or not? But everyone agrees that mitzvahs, that when do you make a bracha? Make a bracha before you do the mitzvah. Where's the source that you make a bracha before you make a mitzvah? They make a bracha after you do the mitzvah already. That's the Gemara. Everyone agrees that you have to make a bracha before you do the mitzvah. The question is, where's the mak? Yeah, I don't know. There's different other mitzvahs. You have a berach samazon. You make a bracha after you they rise you and you have to make a berach samazon after you eat the food. You make a berach samazon. It's a bit different. But maybe you have to make who said you have to do the bracha before you make the mitzvah? Where's the source that before you make a mitzvah you have to make a bracha? We're not asking why we know you have to make a bracha. Everyone agrees you have to make a bracha because the Chacham say you have to make a bracha. But the question is, why do we know that they were masakin in a way they have to make a bracha before the mitzvah and not after the mitzvah, during the mitzvah? So the Amar Rabbi Yehuda said the name of Shmuel, call mitzvahs, all the mitzvahs, he makes a bracha before he does them. That's what Rabbi Yehuda said the name of Shmuel. Okay, we don't know what Eivel Asiyasa means. We know because we learned Shulchan Aruch already. We know the Masechta Gemara. The Eivel Asiyasa means we have to make a bracha before. But in Rabbi Yehuda said that the statement of Rabbi Yehuda said the name of Shmuel doesn't say you have to make a mitzvah before make a bracha before the mitzvah. It says you have to make a bracha Eivel Asiyasa. What does Eivel Asiyasa mean? My mashma the Eivel Lishna Glumihu. Who told you Eivel means before the mitzvah? Maybe Eivel means after the mitzvah. So now we're going to be different psukim that teach us that Eivel means after. Amar of Nachman by Yitzchak. Nachman said the name. Nachman, the son of Yitzchak, said, the Amar Krab, we find the pasuk in Shmuel base that says Vayaratz achimat derech hakikar vayaver esakushi. Says that Achimat ran and he vayaver esakushi, meaning he he let's say in English, he overtook, or he went before the kush, meaning I'm not going to get the story there. He overtook him. So when we see the over means overtaking. Over means he passed him for the future, meaning that he's holding before the kush. So over can mean before. Abai says another pasuk. Mehacha, as a pasuk in Pesachim, it says Vuhu over ale. So that Yaakov, when Yaakov was fighting Esau, he says that Yaakov first put his kids, then he put his wife, and then it says Vuhu over ale. He went. How do we touch? Well, he went in front of them. He went before them. So when we see that word over means before. So when Rav Yehuda said the name of Shmuel that you make a bracha over l'asiyasam, he means that you make a bracha before. Over means before the mitzvah. One more proof. Mehacha is a pasuk Micha. The Micha says that kabetz sheit to say Shesam the is going to get all the together. Vayaver malkum ifneya. Mean he's going to make the king go in front of them, and the Eibush is going to go in front of everyone. So here we see Vayaver Melech Lifneim. It says clear that the Melech goes in front of them. So we see the Yaver means doesn't Yaver, and that could also be the source of the meaning of Vayaver means he passed or he overtook, because he's going before and overtaking the same concept. Okay. We just finished now that Shmuel said that he makes over l'asiyasim. So now the Gemara is going to bring a discussion regarding making brachas before you make a mitzvah. Kirav Omni, the Masechta of Rabbi, said that all the mitzvahs you make, all the brachas of the mitzvahs you make before you do them, besides two. Number one, chutz min tefillah, besides when the person goes to mikveh to become ta'ir. And I'm a tuva sheif. Why? Regarding tefillah, I can understand why a person makes a bracha after he goes to mikveh. Because he's not going to make it. Why should he make a bracha when he's still tummy? He's still tummy. He should make a bracha. So therefore, when after he goes to mikveh, as masakin that, and we know that as masakin that about Keri, someone who's tummy should not learn Torah, he shouldn't make brachas, he shouldn't daven. So such a person is going to mikveh, he can't make a bracha before because he's still tummy. It says after that they mavatal the Takana says it, but by the Takana he can make a bracha before he goes to mikveh, so he has to make a bracha afterwards. Elo shofar, my time regarding shofar, why shouldn't he make a bracha before he makes a blow shofar? And we know we do make a bracha before we blow shofar, but Rav's Mesmedrash said we don't make a bracha before we blow shofar. We make it after. Why shouldn't you make a bracha before you blow shofar? Maybe you're going to tell me he's not going to blow the tkiyas properly. If he doesn't blow the tkiyas properly, it's going to be a bracha vatala, because the tkiyas aren't going to be kosher. And if the tkiyas aren't kosher, so the bracha is not emes bracha, because the bracha goes on a mitzvah. And if there's no mitzvah, then the bracha is bracha vatala. Says the Gemara, shchita v'mila nami, shchita and mila also. Yeah, by shchita you can make the animal a treifa behema, and also when it comes to mila, the mila they're doing mila in a way that you're not going to be yet some mitzvahs mila, and we see that we still make brachas before, even though there's a chash that it might end up that the mitzvah is not going to be 100%. They never mentioned. Rav Bismanish didn't mention anything about a milah, anything about shofar. They just said that someone who's not tired can't make a bracha, and therefore by tefillah you should make a bracha after you go to mikveh. We learn like this. We have a brayso that says clearly, Taba v'Allah. Someone's time he goes to mikveh. When he comes out the mikveh, the brayso says that he makes a bracha. So we see a clear proof that for tefillah dafka you make a bracha afterwards. Okay, we're going back to the sugya of the chametz. We said inside the Mishnah that we have to check the chametz later on there. We have to check the chametz by candlelight. Question is, why in the world we have to check the chametz by candlelight? What's wrong with sunlight or other light? Says the Gemara. We said in the Mishnah, chametz there. On the 14th, the night of the 14th, we check chametz by candlelight. Says the Gemara, not immediately. Where does the Tana know that we have to check chametz by candlelight. What's special about candlelight? Amar Rav Chisda answers like this: Lamadnu mitzia mi mitzia. We learn out the word mitzia from mitzia, meaning the finding from mitzia. What does that mean? We're going to touch in a second. It means that we make a hekesh between mitzia, which finding chametz, dika, to find chametz, from another place in Torah that we find mitzia, and mitzia we learn out from chipus. Chipus we learn out from another place of chipus. The chipus mineres, mineres minay. So we're going to see a whole set of shtashos now. How we learn out that we have to check chametz during there. So the first step is like this: mitzia mitzia. The first thing is to make a shava between mitzia that it says chametz, that we have to find chametz, and the mitzia that it brings in other places. What does that mean? It says so should not be found. Chametz should not be found in your house. It says regarding, we're just learning now about the story with Yosef and Binyamin. It says that when Yosef hid the cup in Binyamin's bag, he asked the mamune, basically he asked his guards to lachapis achram. It says vayechapis bagodel heichel uvakoten kil. It says he started checking. The word pastor uses lashon vayechapis. He searched. Mitzia means to find. Chibus means to search. He searched by the big one, meaning he started from the oven. Uvakoten kil, and he finished by the smallest one, Binyamin. So he searched, and then the pastor finished at vayimatze. He found the cup in Binyamin's thing. So we see mitzia by chametz. It says la'imatze. Make a hekesh to mitzia by David, by Yosef's cup. Mitzia michipos today, and therefore we learn now mitzia from the chipos that it says by chapis vayimatze. Here we see that in order to find something, you have to search for it. Okay, so we're connecting the word vayichapis. It's a hard to cut. We're connecting the word vayichapis, the search, to mitzia. So by chametz says mitzia. We connect the mitzia to over here by chametz to the mitzia by Yosef. How did they find the cup? Yosef. They found the cup by searching. So here says that you have to search for chametz. Now that we know that chametz is called searching, chipus, the word chipus means to search in Hebrew. Chipus mineres. Now that the chametz is searching, we're connecting the word searching to candles. Tichsiv says in pasuk, "Ba'esahi achapis es Yerushalayim avenis Yerushalayim baneres." It says in the Rabbi of Tzfanya that it says that in that time I'm going to search Yerushalayim with candles. The pasuk uses the lashon of achapis. The way to search is with candles. Here we see that to search chametz or any searching in general has to be done with candles. The neides mine. Now we know that's done with candles. We learn now that it can be done with one candle. See, it says in pasuk neid havaya nishmas adam chayfes kochavrei button. Says that the Eibishter is the neshama is a neid havaya nishmas adam. That just like a person has to look, looks with a candle, with neda and to find things that he needs. So to the Eibishter looks into a person neshama that I'm quoting the Rishonim, that the neshama knows neda havai nishmas that the person's neshama is like a candle. Okay, so here we see that we have to search chametz in the candle. So it's not like a seichel de gebir. It's right after again. We're learning out over here. It says you have to find. Yosef says they found. How did they find? They found it through searching. Searching. We're connecting it to a pasuk of in Tzfanya that says the search is with candles. Once we're searching with candles, we can connect it all the way back to Yosef. That the search is back to connect it all the way back to chametz. That by chametz has to be done with candles. Tanya Rabbi Shmuel. The Gemara, we learned the base midrash of Rabbi Shmuel. They learned this brayso. It says Leila Ba'asar, the night of the 14th of Nisan. We check the chametz by candlelight. Even though there's no clear pasuk that says you have to check when we search, you have to check with candlelight. There's asmachta. Asmachta means doesn't say clearly in the pasuk, but it's a source that is asmachta. It mentions it. Shanama says in Pasuk Shivas Yom L'Seir Matzah. Regarding chametz, it says in 7 days you shouldn't find chametz, or chametz shouldn't be found in your house. The Eimer, another pasuk says regarding Yosef that that they searched and they found. So we see we connect the both words are founding. They just like over here you have to find solely matzeh, and by Yosef it was the matzeh by Yimtzot. How did they find it? Through searching. And another pasuk says by Siyach Chametz Shlam Eres. The Eimer Nei Havaya Nishma Adam Chavis Chalivatim that the Bishma brought us in the name of Bryce. We just said this without Bryce. Now we said the name of Bryce. That says exactly the same thing. Even though there's no clear marker, they have to search for the candles, but there's remembrance with this in the psuk. Sounds about the obvious question. Why do we bring two proofs? We bring two proofs that has to do with candles. The first proof is we said basically and the second proof was why do we have to have two proofs that searching with a candle? One proof is enough. What is the extra proof that we brought from the light of the neshama goes through and searches the person's person's body to make sure he's doing okay, meaning he's keeping mitzvahs. Says the Gemara, so why do you need extra proof? So the Gemara types it. Maybe you're going to tell me, hi, basically the first person we brought. That it says in that time, I'm going to search Yerushalayim with candles. Kulo. It's not telling you have to search with candles. It's a kulo. What does it mean? The common Achmanim is the Ebshah saying like this. The Ebshah says, I'm not going to search. If I'm looking for Avedas in Yerushalayim, something on the Nevuos of when we're doing bad things in Yerushalayim, if I'm not going to learn, I'm not going to look through Yerushalayim with a avuka, with a huge fire, a huge flame. So I'm going to find all the Avedas. And if the struggle is I'm going to look with a candle. Meaning, I'm just saying, even though you did a lot of Avedas, when I come to give punishment, I'm not going to come with a blowtorch and find all the Avedas and make a lot of lights. I could see every small Aveda. I'm coming with a candle. So when you come with the candle shows them small light. So maybe you can tell me there's no proof that searching has to be with a candle, because over there it's a cooler. That Abe just being nice to eat, and it's not a proof what that's searching with the candle. So therefore, we bring another raya. The oven mishtaka. With the candle, a big aves, I see the big aves, but the small aves I ignore. Tashma. Therefore, I bring a next raya from there that we see over there that the neshama searches every single part of the body. So there, the neshama of a person is like a candle, which searches and goes through all the chambers of the stomach, the chambers of the body. From here we see that to search something, if you're searching through all the chambers of the body, then it has to be with a candle. So to over here, I think if you want to search thoroughly, it has to be dafka through a candle. Okay, we'll stop over here. The time of base. And tomorrow we're going to do it. Tomorrow on Sunday, we're going to do the Ches Amud Aleph.